That's the perfect way to start off a video. Hi guys, Jameson here. Dab. Wow, that's just a cringy intro, but welcome to r/nosleep. Uh, it's a horror thing that I wanted to try out. Just to see how it would work, but let's do this. I should have saved my daughter. I wish I could go back. I wish God would grant me a redo. I firmly believe it all started when he came into my life. His name was Corey. He was a charismatic, well-off businessman for a decent local company, and I was just a simple employee of his. I didn't think I had caught his eye the way he caught mine until I was cornered in his office. He hovered over me, so graceful yet stern, whispering sweet phrases into my ear. Apparently I was a tease to him and chuckled at that. He kissed me out of nowhere, and that's where the downfall begins. We started going steady, which I wasn't grateful for. The last man who had waltzed his way into my life made flimsy promises, broke such sacred vows, and ultimately left me to be a single mother. Dating wasn't easy, but Corey swore he loved her based on the pictures on my desk. I was thankful. My daughter was my entire universe. Annie was a sweet 5-year-old with laughter that could brighten the mood of any room. She enjoyed coloring purple unicorns and begged me to let her help make snickerdoodles, which were her favorite. She said she liked because you got to form them into balls that were like they were Play-Doh. Annie also liked to run through the yards of our neighbors' dogs. Her giggling echoed the entire neighborhood, and I swear if you listen closely, on any Saturday afternoon, you still hear it. She really could never be gone. Corey and her got along better than I could have ever imagined, which now I regret. They were best buddies, and I swore I could trust him with her. He looked like a dad she just never had, but looks are deceiving. Corey and I were dating for about 6 months when things started to shift. It was a slow progression at first. We had moved in together since I felt it would be best for Annie. She would feel less confused about the situation. I got to wake up next to the supposed man of my dreams. Scrolling. Corey started coming home angry. This wasn't a huge red flag, but it sure was scary. He'd snap at me if I asked what he wanted for dinner, or he'd slam his hands on the table when I approached him to see what was wrong. I'd always get the same snarky response. It's none of your business. You wouldn't understand. I guess it made sense. I wasn't as educated as he was, nor was I ranked as high. I nod my head and go check on Annie. Annie noticed the shift too, but it never seemed to bother her. When I'd check on her before starting dinner, she'd say, "Is Corey okay?" To which I'd assure her he is, and she'd go back to playing with her dolls. God, her damn dolls. The girl had hundreds of them, and a whole grand hotel for the dolls, courtesy of Corey. I wish I had the courage to clean up the dolls. Things began to get scarier with Corey as the weeks went on. Sometimes he'd never even come home at all. I wouldn't see him until I went into the office the next day. I'd ask at lunch where he was, but he'd shrug and tell me everything was fine. I found that weird since that wasn't the question I had asked, but never pressed on. The avalanche of disaster and horror became just 1 week after Corey's strange nightly disappearances. It started with the news about the company it was going under. Corey told me with panic in his eyes as we were washing dishes. I nearly shattered a plate from shock. "Corey, What do you mean the company is going out of business? I frantically yelled, nearly pulling my hair out of its scalp. I'd be out of a job. We would both be out of a job. My daughter. I couldn't believe it. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but please don't worry, okay? Corey begged, whispering at lightning speed. He cupped my face and pulled me inches from him. His eyes were weary and tired. The hint of desperation I wish I had been more alarmed by lingered on his face. Not worry? Are you insane? I wanted to scream in his face, but only soft words tumbled out of my mouth. I'll take care of us, darling. I promise. I just agreed, regretfully. A few more weeks went by, and sure enough, Corey's bringing in money. I had managed to find a part-time job as a waitress. I was proud I could still contribute to our household, but it certainly wasn't at the scale Corey was contributing. Every couple of days, there'd be large sums of money deposited into a bank account. Whenever I'd ask Corey what he was actually doing, he'd brush it off and change the subject. The secret of his lifestyle was getting aggravating. When I thought things were going to be okay with us, there was another shift with Corey. Now he was always agitated and paranoid. The littlest things made him jump. He started looking at me and Annie like we were about to vanish. Like he needed to engrave us in his mind. I should have asked more about that more. I should have done a lot. I apparently was too late, or maybe too blind. Maybe both. Out of nowhere, I came home one night to find Corey ransacking the house. Everything was turned upside down in every single room, and he stood in the hallway clutching her pink elephant. I remember it was a pink, fuzzy elephant. I won it for her at a state fair just after she was born. She wore her purple nightgown, worry etched on her face. "Mommy," she cried as Corey rushed past her into our bedroom. I swiftly picked her up and followed Corey's path. He was rummaging through my jewelry. "Corey, what on earth are you doing?" I was beyond aggravated at this point. "Sweetheart, I love you, but I swear, this just doesn't concern you," he grumbled, moving on to his side of the dresser. "This is my home too. You're tearing it apart," I said. "Where do you keep your emergency cash?" He snapped. Annie curled her arms tight around my neck. "Emergency cash? What emergency cash?" Not accepting my answer, he ripped my purse from my hands and emptied the contents. I yelled in protest, but he just yelled back stronger. I was more scared than mad at this point. I decided it would be best for Annie to go to bed, so I left Corey to his maniac state and tucked my daughter in. She was still gripping her pink elephant and snuggled under her Cinderella blanket. Sorry, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm reading this. Her room was a mess, so the last thing I told her before she fell asleep was that she needed to clean her room in the morning. She hummed in response, and I closed the door. Why did those have to be my last words to her? What the fuck? Oh, no, don't tell me. Upon exiting the room, I encountered Corey walking past me to the living room. He was still in his state, so I approached with caution. I tried to ask him what was going on, but he just ignored me and walked out the door. There was nothing I could do. I firmly believe that. I don't know what he had brought upon himself, so I decided to forget about it. I tidied up the rooms and made my way to bed. I woke up the next morning alone. Completely alone. At first, I just thought Corey wasn't home, but when I went to wake up Annie, she was gone. My heart sunk. The pain I felt upon realizing my daughter was missing was unlike any pain I ever had felt before. My first instinct was to search the home up and down, but there was no sign. I called Corey to ask her if he had seen her, but he just kept repeating sorry over and over again. It all fell into place months later when Annie's body was recovered, still draped in the purple gown and comforted by a pink stuffed elephant. Those damn monsters. Corey had fell into the wrong crowd, desperate to make his money back. He found comfort in selling illegal items. I had no idea. Absolutely no idea. Maybe if I pressed sooner it would have been known, but I fucked that up. Corey was a greedy man in all businesses he had. Greed brought everything down in his life. He took everything with hopes that it would slip by, but people aren't as dumb as Corey thought they were. They sure caught up to him. He needed money fast. He needed almost 3 times what we had in the bank, and when trying to reason, no one he was working with was having it. They decided to get violent. An equal trade. I think they thought it was to take my daughter, which they thought was Corey's. She might as well have been. Fucking English. This is starting to piss me off. Everyone's serving time but me. When I'm the one who's most guilty, I could have ran. I should have ran. But I didn't want to think. I didn't want to believe. I'm the one that's in the prison. I suffer. I wish. Well then. See, people, this is why you get to know people very well before you start dating them. Like, boy, this could have been avoided. Like, yo, you could have done better. I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know. This is just so confusing. I'm not even gonna bother anymore. But if you like what you heard, leave a like or a comment saying you want more. Yada yada yada. This outro sucks. I'll leave a link to this story in the description. So, yeah. Bye, everyone.